As a lifelong Family Guy fan, yes, this is an autograph from Seth MacFarlane. I got this 15 years ago. It is my pride and joy. And I say all this because I love Family Guy. Guilty. So imagine my joy when 14 years ago, a Family Guy video game comes out. No, not that one. This one. Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. I got this game off eBay for $94 just to see if it holds up. So let's strap on our overalls and go back to the multiverse. Family Guy Back to the Multiverse takes place a little after season 9. So that means with the multiverse established, this game had a lot of legs to run with. So imagine my surprise when 6 out of the 10 levels of this game all take place within the city of Quahog. That's right, the multiverse episode that had limitless possibilities. Most of the game you'll spend running around the city of Quahog, but we'll get into that later. The game starts off like a regular Family Guy episode. The house looks good, except there is no fence in the Griffin's backyard, and it's missing their red mailbox.
What the hell?
But they did get Joe's wheelchair ramp right, so they get points for that. But only a nitpicking Family Guy fan would point that out. So anyway, Brian comes in and tells Stewie that he's canceling their picnic, and they have a little banter about that.
Oh, was that today? Oh, yeah. Oh no way I can make that either. I'm canceling too, man.
Right off the bat, you'll see the character animations are a little stiff, but the character models are decent, unlike some games. Even if Stewie's shoulders do look a little broad. Anyway, Bertram shows up from another world since he's dead in this universe. Then he tells Brian and Stewie he's gonna assemble an army and come back and destroy them. So then Brian and Stewie have to use their multiverse remote to follow him. Also, nitpicking, but it's interesting they gave Stewie's crib wheels here, since like 95% of the show he doesn't have wheels on his crib, except for only this one gag that I can see. Not a complaint, just an interesting choice. Then we arrive at the first universe, the Greek universe, and instead of being actually Greek version of Quahog, it's disappointingly just a big joke about frat boys, which is funny at first, but it almost makes you wish they had went with the Greek idea instead. I don't know why they chose to start the game like this. This is definitely not the strongest level in the game.
Hey, those guys aren't like us. Get those knob gobblers.
Anyway, then the multiverse remote breaks, so Brian and Stewie have to find someone to fix it. So then you meet frat boy Mort, who's running a Jewish fraternity, and you do some tasks for him and help his frat throw a better party. And in exchange, he helps you fix your remote. You pop some balloons, steal some beer, steal some music, and then you go back to Mort and he fixes the remote.
And thank you guys so much. Now I have the whole night to fear the sex that I'll probably chicken out of.
Even though it seems kind of out of character for Stewie, genius Stewie, to need Mort Goldman to fix his remote, but whatever. Then you get introduced to Bruce and he'll pop up throughout the game and give you tips. Then Brian and Stewie arrive in the Amish universe, which I guess is better than the frat boy universe, but again, it's just a farm, so it's nothing really out of the ordinary for what you'd see in regular Quahog. This whole universe seems to reuse assets from season 10, episode 7, and we'll see this a few more times throughout the game where they're kind of reusing assets from the show and kind of shoehorning it in to make it work in the game. Santa's Workshop is probably the most egregious example of this. Anyway, Bertram is trying to recruit the Amish into his army, and in exchange, he offers them this rapid growing seed. And Ezekiel from season 10, episode 7 is also here. That's that same Amish episode. Then the game starts you off and you're given Brian's sniper rifle. It's okay. If you're on console, it's damn near impossible to hit anything though. So you're gonna fight your way through Amish town, and there's actually some good jokes here, like the bumper stickers on the carriages. Or the ye old strip club. Actually a wicked callback here, season 1, episode 2.
What a gorgeous day! Isn't it a gorgeous day, Mr. Sun? It's always a nice day with 2 scoops of raisins, Peter.
This was a cool touch though. It tells me whoever did this level was a real fan of the show. A little while later, you get Stewie's flamethrower, and this is where Stewie's weapons really start to outpace Brian. And you'll notice throughout the game, Stewie definitely has a better arsenal, especially the rocket launcher. Nice reference to the cow from season 4. Anyway, after you make it through Amish Town, you fight this giant wooden Bertram. It's pretty easy, but a little janky, as he seems to be able to hit you no matter where you go, and you don't really seem to have a way to avoid him. Anyway, after that, Brian and Stewie arrive in the cripple universe, which is just regular Quahog, but everyone's crippled. It's kind of like the Greek world, where the whole universe is just this big joke. And it's funny, but it almost makes you wish they had just put the time in to make a real, unique universe. So then some disabled people show up, and then there's one of those classic Family Guy bits where the joke kind of goes on for too long. There's an Al Harrington joke here where he's selling used wheelchairs, and it's actually pretty funny. Brian gets his shotgun, which is by far his best weapon, but still not as good as Stewie's. You get to this arena area and you have to disable all these fire alarms and then kill a mini boss for a door code. And this section repeats like 3 times, so I'm pretty sure they were kind of padding this level a bit. After that, we finally meet Joe, who's running the Cripple universe, and he brings out the Crippletron from season 5, episode 14. You defeat him by firing these cannons at him while he shoots you. It's not super well designed, and all the difficulty kind of comes around to how janky this is. But anyway, then we beat Joe.
Somebody, anybody, help! For the love of God, help!
And we go to the next universe. Brian and Stewie arrive in Evil Universe, which is just another reskinned Quahog, but it's tinted red with some set dressing, like there's a war going on. You find out Evil Mayor West is assembling these nuclear cat launchers to help Bertram. The nuclear cat launcher is a throwback to Adam West in season 5.
Prepare to meet your maker at the hands of my cat launcher.
Then after that, we get Stewie's satchel charge, which is by far the worst weapon in the game. You literally can't aim this thing. You have no idea how far this thing's gonna go. So Evil Stewie from season 9 shows up and he sets off these nukes, but then the evil monkey from Chris's closet shows up and reprograms them to self-destruct. I guess since this is evil Quahog, the evil monkey is not evil, even though in the regular universe he was retconned in season 8 to not actually be evil.
You know something? You're not evil at all, are you?
No, he's not. He's just a poor fellow who's down on his luck.
So I don't really know why he did this. So then we have to reprogram the nuke launchers to self-destruct. This section is hard. Stewie's satchel charges cannot hit anything, and these enemies just keep respawning over and over. And don't even get me started on these turrets that'll shoot you halfway across the map. So after you destroy the nuke launchers, Adam West shows up with evil Stewie. So we defeat evil Adam West, and he agrees to not help Bertram if we assassinate Mayor McCheese. So then that takes us to the next level, which is not a new universe, but it does count as a new level. This whole level is a reference to season 8, episode 1, which actually is the Road to the Multiverse episode.
I'm Lamb Chunks. I don't have a lot of time. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I know I'm a new channel, but I promise you I'm gonna keep posting.
Then we have to get to the book depository to assassinate Mayor McCheese. This mission has some stealth sections, but they're pretty janky, and once you alert the guards, there's no way to stop it, so you're better off just playing it like you normally would. But it's nice they tried to mix it up. And there's some verticality to this mission too, like there's snipers up in windows you have to take out, so it offers a little bit of variety from the last few missions. A little while later, you fight this helicopter, and it's a real damage sponge, so that's kind of the only drag of this level. Then we make it to the book depository, and you'll find a few references here, like Peter's Peterotica, or Brian's Faster Than the Speed of Love, or Wish It Wanted Do It from season 9. A little while later, you make it to the sniper's nest. You take the shot, and the whole thing plays out just like the scene from the Multiverse episode.
Okay, nobody.
I'm not really sure why they redid this. I don't know. Then we get to the pirate universe and finally get something different besides Quahog. This is a cool mission, but if you're playing on console, this mission regularly dips below single-digit frames. But besides that, it's a nice change of scenery. So then Long John Peter from season 6 shows up and he throws Brian and Stewie in the brig. Then they have to escape and you make a little bit of noise and that makes the guard open the door. We meet Seamus and we help him escape. I guess it really wouldn't be a pirate level without him. We go upstairs to get our gear back. We get to the upper deck, and then Seamus shows up with his own ship, so we board that. And now we have to defeat Long John Peter. It's no Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but it's a fun boss battle, and it's different from the other ones. There's ships coming on both sides of you, and you have to shoot them with cannons, all while there's pirates trying to board your ship. Again, on console, the performance here is like single-digit frames, but on PC, it's pretty solid. Then Long John Peter boards the ship, and we fight him. Eventually, you beat him, and you get one of these. So Long John Peter agrees to not help Bertram and we go to the next universe. This is definitely a stronger mission of the game and it really takes advantage of this multiverse thing, which makes you wonder why they didn't start with this mission. Then we arrive at the North Pole universe, but this universe is weird because it's basically just reusing assets from the season 9 episode, Road to the North Pole. Again, it's cool to see it and explore around, and it's nice to have a change of pace from regular Quahog, but why show us something we've already seen before? So Santa's making weapons for Bertram and we have to stop him. Anyway, you get into the toy factory and you have to fight your way to the top to get to Santa. We make it to Santa, but then he escapes in his sleigh and then you have to fight him. This fight's okay. He flies back and forth while you shoot his reindeer. His reindeer are really hard to hit. Anyway though, then you beat him and Stewie drops his TV on him.
Check that twice, bitch!
This level is conflicting. On one hand, it's nice to see a change of pace from the Quahog cities we've seen, but it's also weird how it's just reused assets from the show. After that, you arrive at the Alien Chicken universe, and this is definitely the strongest level of the game. This and the pirate level may be the only universes that aren't from the show. Bertram wants to use the alien chickens in his army, so we have to stop him. Throughout the mission, you'll rescue characters from these pods, and eventually you'll run into a robot chicken and you'll get this.
Oh, I hate robot chickens.
I heard that, you son of a bitch!
And a lot of great alien references. Then we go into outer space, and this is the weaker section of the area, just because it's all about platforming, and the platforming is a little janky, and if you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. And after that, you get another alien reference. Then we get to the boss for this section, who's this giant alien chicken. This fight's pretty good. I love the alien references, and this whole level is just great, and it makes you wonder why all the best content in this game seems to be pushed towards the back, and it just makes you wonder what this game could have been. Maybe if they had a little more time or a little more money, because you can clearly see a lot of the time and money went into this level. Then we beat the chicken and we rescue Peter, but then Ernie the giant chicken shows up and Peter has to fight him. After that, Brian and Stewie get back to their universe and Peter fights the giant chicken. This mission's actually pretty fun. The airport has a lot of destructibility and it's way bigger than it needs to be, and it's fun getting to play as Peter. This game definitely pushed a lot of the better content towards the end of the game. Anyway, Peter beats Ernie and then he walks off into the sunset and we get the classic scene. Now we're back as Brian and Stewie, and Bertram shows up with a giant T-Rex and an army of Bertrams. So you fight Bertram and you beat his T-Rex by shooting the lasers on its head. And then you get to the second phase where now he's got rocket launchers, but it's the same thing. You shoot the rocket launchers on the side of his head. And it's pretty cool how big this area is. Anyway, you beat Bertram and then he runs away again. And now we fight him at the Griffin's house. This time he picks up cars and throws them at you, but when he picks up the car, if you shoot it while it's in his mouth, it'll explode. This is by far the hardest level of the game. I did not think I was going to beat it. These Bertrams will you up. Then we beat him and Bertram gets eaten by his T-Rex, and Stewie makes a joke about a potential sequel that we're never gonna get.
Have to wait and see how much money this makes.
And then that's the end. This game has some extra modes and some replayability. There's some secret challenges in each level that unlock skins and weapons and maps. And there's actually a challenge mode as well, where you play as different characters and earn stars. There's a horde mode that goes up to 50 waves. I played it for an hour and I think I got to wave 8, so I can't imagine how long it would take to get to 50. There's even an offline 4-player versus mode. It's got team deathmatch and like capture the flag. It's actually really surprising how much content is in this game. And you can play all of it co-op. I think this game is 10 years too late. If this was the first Family Guy game, this would have been mind-blowing. Could have been the golden eye of Family Guy games, you know? People would still be talking about it. We might have gotten that sequel. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. Is it a masterpiece? Hell no. But as a Family Guy fan, I love this game. Yes, it's janky, the performance is not good, and the levels aren't as cool as they could be. But the game is full of references, and if you're a Family Guy fan, I think there's a lot you're gonna enjoy here. Everywhere you look, you'll find a reference. Some go as far back as season 1. It's a fun little Brian and Stewie arc that feels like an episode from the show. You can tell Heavy Iron Studios were fans of the show, but they were on time constraints and a shoestring budget. Am I biased? Yes, I think they did a decent job. Unfortunately, the finances were never disclosed, but we can only assume it didn't meet Activision's expectations because we never saw a sequel. So unfortunately, this game is lost to time since it was delisted from Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. If you're a Family Guy fan, I encourage you to try to get a copy of this game because there is something you're going to enjoy here, and there's nothing else like it. I'm Lamb Chunks. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like this video. God, try saying that 3 times. Seamus shows up with his own ship. Seamus shows up with his own ship. Seamus shows up with his own ship. God.